will be recorded. So I'm very excited to share this for the bigger impact. Okay, so before we do quick introductions, because we do want all of you to speak, even if it's only for 30 seconds, I would love for us to do a quick centering, just to create that safe container, all right? So wherever you are, I know some of you are walking on the street, some of you are in the car. Don't close your eyes if you're in the car, okay? But if possible, be really, really present during the call. If you're listening from the computer, put your phone down. If you're listening in from the phone, don't have your notifications on, and you can turn your camera off if you feel more comfortable. Just try to be really, really present, and I will guide you through a really short centering meditation that will allow to connect you to your true self. Okay, those of you who asked about purpose and how to connect to your inner self, this is exactly the moment to do this. Okay, so I'll have you a moment just to get a little comfortable and mute those who are not muted. And wonderful. So just find this quiet place and close your eyes if you can. And in this moment, just go within. Turn some music on for you. And just let us take a deep collective breath and let go of everything that is not needed in this space. Through your nose, just close your eyes if you can. And take a deep breath. And you can exhale with a sigh. Let's do this one more time. Deep breath in and out. And just keep on breathing and releasing. One more time. In through your nose, out through your mouth. In this moment, just go within to a quiet place where you have space. This is the place of your true essence, your most inner self. And I want you to check your body for any stuck energy, any pressure that you're feeling or experiencing. Just keep on breathing. Now I want you to imagine a stream of white light that is pouring down on you. Starting from the crown of your head, over your neck and shoulders, flowing down your arms, your chest, your belly, your hips, your knees, your legs, your feet, and down into the earth. And just feel a sense of grounding, expansion at the same time. Reconnect to that essence with your inner self. And from this place, I want you to send unconditional love to someone on this call. Maybe you don't even know the person, maybe you just perceive them on your computer or phone. But just allow it to flow with effortless ease and see what images come up for you. And at the same time, be very receptive. As light is coming your way. And I want you to take another deep breath. Hold it. And just let it out. And slowly, slowly just come back in the here and now. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Just bring awareness back into your body. Open your eyes. And from this place, you feel comfortable. Would like for you to share who you are with your name, where you're from, and something you would like to leave with today. So if I would go first, I would say my intention is to share some of my work on how to live a life from within. And my name is Nina, and half Russian and half German. That's all we want you to say, just to create that safe container so we can connect further. Okay. Please go ahead. You're all unmuted now. How about Anju?
Hi, my name is Anju, and I am a life executive coach and a laughter yoga coach. I live in Dubai, and my intention is to live my journey, whatever it might be, but just live the journey and not worry about the results. So I'm enjoying where I am right now. Thanks for getting me onto this webinar.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Anju. Ivan, go ahead.
Hello, hi. Yeah, good morning. My name is Ivan. I'm from El Salvador. I live in El Salvador. My intention today is to redefine my purpose, as I said in the questionnaire you sent, meaning that I see that we do a lot, but the sense of accomplishment is very little. So I need to refocus what I'm doing.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you. How about Alexa?
Hello, my name is Alexandra. I'm calling from Germany. And while I have just started my journey maybe into a new business, I gathering new ideas. I would like to do something in the area of coaching, and I'm very happy to join you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Patricia.
Hi, my name is Patricia. Odiluche for the business world. My intention today is to break free of fear and move forward.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. What about Katya?
Hi, I am living in the United States for the last 20 years. I'm Katya. I'm a periodontist. I'm a dental specialist. I have a business, and I'm a single mother with 2 children. And right now, I'm taking care of my mother too. And I am very curious, but I messed up the time, so I have an appointment in a few minutes. So I may have to follow all this in the recording. I was just curious to see what the enlightened group of people can share. Thank you.
Wonderful. How about Natalie? Go ahead.
Honey, wait, wrong Natalie? Hi, you guys. I'm in the middle of a workout, so please forgive me for not using video, but I hopped on because I follow anything Nina Ehrman and just really love her presence, light, the teachings, and more. So really excited to be with you guys this morning. And I'm based in the US, Boulder, Colorado, and I'm a fundraising strategist for global nonprofits.
Love it. Thank you, Natalie. Florentine, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Florentine. I'm from Paris. My intention is to share the light from within and refine my path to serve on that journey and to coach, to refine that the way of doing it. Thank you.
Thank you, Florentine. What about Vadim?
Hi, hi everybody. So nice to see you. So I'm here to learn and support Nina and Natalia because they're like my favorite creatures on this planet, both of them. And I'm here to learn actually how to accept the uncertainty and how to deal with that.
Wonderful. Thank you.
I'm also have to leave in 10 minutes, so looking forward for recording.
Totally. Thank you so much for being here and supporting us. Wonderful. Erwan.
Hi, I'm Ervan from Indonesia, near Bali. There's many things happens lately, so I want to learn how to calm the storm inside my head and align with the changes.
Love it. That's exactly what we're here for. And we have two Tatianas left, which I'm not sure if it's the same person from two different phones. Okay, let's see. She's here. Go ahead, Tatiana. All right. I think we lost Tatiana. So I think we have everybody. And I love creating this container, sharing from that unconditional love that you just sent to each other. So let us get started. Thank you for investing this time in yourself. We promise you that you'll address most of the things you asked for, and you'll come out of this call with more connection, more clarity, inspiration, and a toolbox of practical strategies on how to live that life and business from within and beyond this. Okay. How about we start the conversation, Natalia?
Yeah, let's start. And just before that, a quick reminder, guys, what you give is what you get. So be open, have fun, trust the process, trust yourself. No judgment, you know, the YPO rules. Don't judge yourself, starting with yourself, others, or the situation, and just be present, have fun. So Nina, what does that mean really to live an inside out life and in this upside down world as we're having right now?
Absolutely. So the foundation of living an inside out life. Okay, listen to this, guys. This is so important. All connection that we have is the connection within. Your relationship with yourself right now and beyond is the most important relationship that you will ever have because it will impact every area of your life. So you might have experienced a little bit of this in your centering. When people come to me for guidance, they usually ask, as always, how to feel better, how to have a better life experience, an all-around better life experience. And I always say, in order to change your life, you need to change your energetic vibration on the inside to reconnect to that true self. Now, what does that mean? Because it's kind of a concept out there, and you might have heard it before. So I strongly believe that all power comes from within, right? From your eternal essence, from the pure consciousness, that most inner self. And once you've awakened to that idea, you have to take full responsibility for your life. You cannot stay in victim or self-blame mode. And many of us right now in this uncertainty are looking at outside, right? They're saying the coronavirus, and that's why my business is falling apart, or that's why I feel anxiety, that's why I feel fear. And believe me, whatever we see out there, it's just a reflection of who you are. And whatever we see collectively is a reflection of collective consciousness as well. So living an inside out life means taking your power back and living a full and conscious life from within. You can imagine yourself kind of being in the circle, right? The relationship with yourself. Then it's the relationship with others, with your immediate family, with your immediate colleagues, with your business. And then it's the relationship with the world. When we talk about purpose, Ivan, right? It's about how do I actually bring my uniqueness out? So embracing that approach, understanding that you are the core of everything, will take you from not having what you want or being who you want to absolutely having everything that you ever wanted. Some people have great relationships, but they're career isn't where they want it to be. And some have great careers, but their relationships suffer. And some have it all, or seem to having all, but their health and well-being is struggling. So I work with people in this very holistic approach. And the good news is they can have a financial abundance, emotional happiness, relationship success, and it all starts within you. I know it's a broad concept to get, and we intellectually might get it. I will teach you in the second question how to do it, as my mission is really to help people to reconnect to that essence and be the example of what's possible. But as we're talking energy, I want to ask Natalia, because she's really the energy expert and got into the energy leadership and core energy coaching principles. If we believe that everything is energy, and sometimes we feel like we drain our energy, and some things give us energy, how do we apply it in our life and business? What do you say, Natalia?
Yeah, well, indeed, energy is a big concept. Some people think it's a big voodoo thing, but it's nothing but physics. So coming to the core energy is the energy that is at the core of us, at the core of our thoughts, our emotions, our actions, and that is how we relate to ourselves, to the world around us, to each other. So depending how we see the situation, how we see ourselves and others, we tend to react to that, to feel a certain way and to do a certain thing. So basically how we think in the energy coaching, energy leadership, is there are two types of energies, and again it's just physics. Catabolic, which is a disruptive, draining energy, and it can, like you said, sometimes you feel drained and you don't have any motivation. It's sort of it gives an energetic boost when you have to win a marathon, you have to win a competition, that about Nina. But on the longer term, it really puts you under stress, and it acts as a blinder and giving you a more limited view on the situation and reducing the choices, and it impacts our mental, physical, emotional health. And in that state, basically we kind of feel like we are the victim of life, we're at the effect of life. Like, look at the crisis right now. We think we cannot control it, is nothing up to us. And the effect it has on us is that we feel quite small, powerless, there's lack of freedom, there's potentially lots of worry, anxiety, fear, etc. And then there is an anabolic energy, which is constructive, healing, expanding. It's like a building force. So it's fueling energy. And that's when the type of energy that helps you move forward, see clearly, have focus, and also achieve powerful and sustainable results without actually much effort at all. It's really where when you get into that flow, into that sense of passion and joy and wisdom, and you just know, and it's really effortless actually. And that's the state also of more consciousness, less judgment, etc., the higher you go. So within the core energy leadership, the key is point one, connect to yourself. And you mentioned yourself as well, Nina. Thank you for that. It is inside out. It is about, first of all, knowing who you are and what is the core within, and then living that passionate life, being true to yourself, and also helping others to do the same, whether it is in the working environment, in the business partnerships. And so within the energy, we have 7 levels of energy, from being a victim, feeling that you have to fight against the world, learning how to cope and tolerate and compromise and settle for less, care for other people, level 4, and being more in balance and supportive, etc. When the level 5 is really being looking at things from the opportunistic standpoint. Where is the win-win? Where are the partnerships? Where is that collective opportunity for everyone? And it's not about I want to live, I want to win, but it's about creating, etc. So basically, and we touched upon it, about moving forward and not and how to deal with anxiety and not to worry, etc. Think of energy that you're today in this moment. Lots of people talking about mindfulness, etc. But you're in this moment. You have only a part of 100% energy. That energy that you can make the decisions with, that energy that empowers you, that energy that tells you what to do, what you want to do, what is the right thing, connect to your intuition. However, many of us, and it's all the time, it's a constant struggle, think about the past, what we could have done, what we should have done, blaming ourselves or others, and that it takes from that 100%. Or we worry about the future, and then anxiety happens, and then the fear, which is not even real, but that's what we tend to do. So, what you have left is very little. And with that little energy, and if it's also catabolic, feeling like a victim and a fighter, nothing great can come from it. So being present in the moment, 100% engaged with that anabolic energy at the higher level, thinking of opportunities, etc. That's where we would love to be. So that's what we work with, and we lift energies, and we give all sorts of tools how to have a lovely, a fulfilling life, satisfying in all the different areas in life and business. And that's in the short term. It's a big concept, like you said about yours. It's and that really helped in the past months. I love it. Yeah.
It's just knowing that kind of inner wisdom, that you always have access to that energy, and actually energy is unlimited if you tap from it at your essence. But let's maybe talk about some of the practical tools as well, right, that have worked for us. Maybe I'll start with, we're bringing it down from the bigger concepts to what can we actually do. And we said it with Natalia over and over. I think it's just to drill it down, because our mind learns by repetition, that self-awareness and self-introspection is key. It's asking yourself that question, what do I really want? It's the million-dollar question. Many of us don't even know the answer to this. Who am I, and what do I really want? And awareness allows us to remember that essence of who we are. You know, when I first came into this personal development industry, I thought that many people were saying, life is a school, we need to learn, expand. And for myself, I have the understanding now that it's the other way around. What if you already know, and you just need to remove all that stuff that's in your way? All that conditioning, all, the social pressure, the cultural pressure. We hear people from all around the world, and we all have different stories, but at our essence, we all want the same things. We want the purpose, we want the meaning, we want to be contributing in the world. Okay, so if we have moved away from life is happening to me, and I'm at the effect of, to life is happening for me, or through me, or by me, then what can we do in terms of brain management? So here's a model that I want to show you guys, and that is very practical, that has helped me tremendously, changed everything for me when I learned this. So if we have our essence, right, we have it and we know that it's there. This is where we are good enough, where we're worthy at all points. And then we have this human experience on earth, okay? This is the human, we have a human brain, we have a human body. We have circumstances in our life. We have thoughts about those circumstances. We have feelings, and we take actions, and those provide the results. That's all there is to it. Circumstances, thoughts, feelings, actions, result. Anything that life throws at you, you can put in that kind of model, okay? So circumstances are things in our life that are outside of our control. So these include other people, the past, the weather, coronavirus. Circumstances can be proven in a court of law. There are facts that everybody would kind of agree on, okay? So sometimes we forget that we cannot control circumstances, right? Those are the circumstances. And we try so much, we spend so much of our energy, this is the energy drain that Natalia was talking about, to change them. And it can be very frustrating, but the good news is, while we cannot control circumstances, we can control everything else in that model. So the second thing we have is thoughts. And thoughts are literally sentences in our minds. We give meaning to our circumstances through our thoughts that constantly run through our minds. And these are like 40,000, 60,000 thoughts that we have every day. And sometimes we're aware of our thoughts, but often we aren't. You know, thoughts like recurrent thoughts, like I'm not good enough. I'm not, like my boss doesn't appreciate my work. I'm never gonna have meaning or purpose in my life. We can't change the circumstances, but we can change our thoughts around them. And the root problem, think about this, anything, any suffering is always your thinking. You know, Byron Katie, one of my teachers, she said, circumstances are reality, and when you argue with reality, you lose, but only 100% of the time. So it's not the circumstance that is causing you your pain, it's your thoughts about it. Once you get this, it's pretty major. I know most of you have gotten this idea, but do you really live it? That's what we have to ask ourselves. If you're distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. That's what Marcus Aurelius already said, right? And your thoughts you can revoke at every moment. What else do we have? We have feelings, right? And here is a connection that I want you to see. Thoughts create our feelings. So
Yes.
vibrations in our body, emotions, feelings, those are happening here inside the body, like anger, sadness, excitement. Emotions are voluntary because we can change how we feel by changing our thoughts. Okay, often we think that we cannot do anything because it comes from the outside. You know, when you say some things like, you know, my husband didn't take out the trash and now
on the back of this door.
or something.
And you can set your
You know,
Maybe we can mute someone.
somebody has to mute. Let me see who that is. Can't really see, but okay, I'm going to mute this person. So think about it in terms of my thoughts create my feelings. And guess what? Anything we do in life is because of a way we think it will make us feel. Anything. It's always the feeling we're chasing. So you have to understand what is it that you actually want to feel. And our feelings cause our actions. They drive our actions. When we feel a certain way, we will act a certain way. It's the behavior, right? Like examples include, like very simple examples are when we eat when we're not hungry because we're feeling lonely. We're actually, you know, overriding that hunger program. And results are just effects of our actions, right? So if you are not happy with the results you have in your life, you can always go back to your thinking, because your thoughts create your feelings drive your actions, and the actions provide the results in your life. This is a model that has changed everything for me. And living an inside out life, understanding this model will truly, truly create the life that you want. I have so much more to say, but I do want to get into more conversation with you, Natalia, and then also maybe if we have some time to talk about processing emotions and uncertainty, I will get into that as well. I really gave you a very quick overview of this, but let's talk about maybe crisis and uncertainty right now. In your journey, Natalia, like I know you were running a chocolate factory and building a business. What has worked for you in terms of management of energy and brain?
Well, what's interesting, that was a really crazy journey with the chocolate factory, and the time of, even before the crisis, at the spot of practically economically going down with the company and going through the bankruptcy and feeling total disaster, and the misery and the feeling of guilt and responsibility and capacity of making a business you really, really want and love prosper and flourish, starting over in the personal crisis and the economic crisis is quite an interesting journey. So what really helped is, and we talked about it, going back to your core energy, the core energy goals, because we all talk about productivity, performance, success. But if, and what you said, you need to set what you really, really want. So the core energy goals is they reflect your ultimate desired results. They get to that feeling that you're after, the feeling that you want to cultivate. And the possibility of detaching from the outcome, like, okay, I wanted $1 million business or 6 million that was supposed to be successful. But what I really, really want, if I get to the core energy goal, is having a business that makes a difference, that impacts the lives of people, that gives a really great atmosphere and environment. And it's not about the size, it's not about the turnover, it's not about that performance mindset, that goal that we are after, or that we should be after. And those performance goals, they really focus on comparing yourself with others, comparing your results with others, and focusing on the outcome, on the outperforming other people or other results. And it's a great motivator, but that's not a sustainable motivator. And plus it puts you under that stress we were talking about, and under stress you go into the lower energy, and you have a lot of judgment towards your outcome, towards yourself and the people. You put the pressure on the people, and that's normal because you want to perform and do better. And there is a different way to it. The mastery goals, for example, using the core energy goals with the real purpose why you want to do it. The mastery goals is all about continuous improvement. It's not about today's result or even tomorrow's result. It's all about the continuous improvement. You're being the best version of yourself and helping your people to be the better versions of themselves, or your children, or your spouse, or your friends. So it's all about not immediate success, but really the long-term purpose, the long-term vision. And we talk about purpose a lot. Right now, it's all about where can I find the meaning, where can I find the energy to do what I want to do, to achieve what I want to achieve. That meaningfulness and purposefulness, it comes within, and that comes with that energy, that using your full potential and the full potential of your people. So the mastery goals, a mindset, continuous improvement, that helped me a lot. And what I figured out, and we have those 6 influencers. Nowadays, with the crisis, we go into stress, low engagement, low motivation, procrastination. We tend to do a lot or not a lot, have energy not for a long time, or have no energy. And it influences our performance, because everything that we put in, we get out. So it's all energy. So, and it's very important to understand what drains your energy and what gives it the boost. So very common 6 influences are the spiritual. What's your purpose? Are you in line with your values? Are your people in line with your values? Do you have excitement about what you do? Do you have a vision? Mental, do you have clarity? Can you focus? Mindfulness, yoga help. Clearly meditation, thank you. Connected to intuition, do you have enough mental stimulation, or is it too much and you cannot mentally handle it? So you get into the stress level, and then you get paralyzed, and then you procrastinate. Natural. Emotional, awareness and understanding of your emotions. We talked about emotions, the feelings. They influence our actions, right? The ability to manage the stress. Do we react or do we respond? So again, reminder, thoughts, emotions, feelings, actions. You talked about it, Nina. Mm-hmm. And the physical, now with the crisis, we couldn't exercise, run, go around, walk. It influences us a lot. Sleep, do we get enough sleep? Are we nutritious enough? Social, whatever you find yourself in your environment, if you like your colleagues, if you can get out and socialize, or you can't because you're still in lockdown, all of this affects you. And that's perfectly normal to feel stressed, to feel drained, to not know what's happening and what to do with all of that. Environmental, that's the 6th energy influencer. Condition we live in. Is it too hot in the house that you're working in 24/7 because you can't go to the office? Is the temperature okay? is technology pissing you off? Like in the case I had 30 minutes before we started. All of that affects our energy, and it's normal, and we should be able to understand it, be aware of it, see what we can control, and be at the cause and not at the effect. So that's what really helped me a lot, among other things, but won't get into that. Would love to get us into the group so people can discuss and share what they're...
I wonder if we just open it up for questions and sharing, because we are in a kind of an intimate group. But what I wanted just to compliment to what you said, Natalia, is that we can lead the change or we can react to it. Like, it's very important, because our life is a series of changes, and you can be at effect of it, or you can take proactive action. And I think during the uncertainty, you know, maybe your partner will leave you, maybe you'll be hit by a car, maybe you will, you know, get the virus, whatever. It's only, like you said earlier, the only constant of life is change. If you want change to happen to you, it will. But the biggest power you have is in your decision making, in your ability to respond. This is where your resilience is. This is where you can really become your best. This is the time to be proactive. I always say, you know, right now there's so many people that are just sitting and waiting, scrolling down their phones, looking what the president will say they can do or not do. And I always say, where do you want to be in the next 3 months? How are you going to be more of yourself? How are you going to connect to the best version of yourself? Which life do you want actually to live? And, you know, talking about these influencers that you mentioned, Natalia, is like, there's influences for sure, but you are still the filter. You can empower yourself by knowing to manage your brain, knowing how to process emotions. I'm not saying that you need to feel great all the time and happy all the time. I don't think that's possible or even desirable. I believe that, you know, the pursuit of happiness and being kind of in that blissful state at all times, it's actually creating more suffering than we want. It's actually creating that negative result. So let us kind of come back to our power, not give anybody our emotional power away. And at this point, master uncertainty and practice resilience from within. So closing this, I would love to open it up, as we are an intimate group of people, for questions, comments, and sharings. What touched you? What did you learn? And also, you know, what is it that you need? So maybe other people on the call can, you know, give it to you, comment, and, you know, and share. Please go ahead, unmute yourself, and if you want to contribute and ask questions either to us or to everybody.
Yeah, consider this as your safe environment. And if you can ask anybody, you can share your challenges and get additional resources from anyone within this group and the resources of the people that are in the group. It's your space. So
go ahead, Anju.
I can share my experience. I mean, you know, it's easy to say, yeah, there's a circumstance, and we get all our thoughts and then our feelings and controlling our emotions. But what really helps me is going into meditation and probably exercise, because I find myself when I meditate, or even if it's online or if it's just silence, it kind of connects me to the core, and that's really helped me more than anything else of, you know.
Yeah, because you're connecting to that essence. What is not in this model is the essence. So we are not our thoughts or feelings or actions or even results. We are this, having a human experience. That I truly believe that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. So when you meditate, you go into that state, you connect to that absolute essence. So, or exercise, you're like doing this exercise so your mind is freed, so you can connect to your core energy. Thank you, Andrew.
And it was just to add on, because you started the session with this, the meditation, it really brought us right here, because there's so much happening all around us. So thank you for that.
Wonderful. Thank you. Alexa, go ahead. Oh, I have to unmute you. Wait, or you have to unmute yourself. Go ahead.
Yeah, here we go. Yes, I also thought the meditation at the beginning was really helpful, because I came running into this place, and I directly realized that I could connect with myself and could really somehow focus a lot better. And although, of course, I knew what you wrote down on your board behind you, of course, I have heard of it, but I found it very good that you explained it again. And it's so well, once you think about it again, it makes so much sense, and helps you so much, and makes things so much easier once you have this concept in mind. And sometimes I wonder why I'm so stupid, really, to not follow, this little method you just explained.
Yeah, but be
thank you very
not
much.
to go into self-judgment here, right? Because it's so important. Like even myself, like I know all this stuff, sometimes we react, and that's okay. And then we need to go back into self-love, right?
Exactly. We are all human beings, and just what you said. And it's, and sometimes we step into this trap. I don't know. Well, I try to be neutral, but thank you very much for that.
Thank you. Thank you. Ivan, how about you?
Thank you, Nina. I was thinking the same thing. Thank you for the method, because in my case, I tend to take circumstances.
That's an interesting circumstance. I don't know how to help the person.
That was interesting. Okay. I tend
No
to
judgment.
No. I tend to take circumstances as something that we've created around us. I guess that sometimes we're just so demanding with ourselves that we tend to, I don't want to sound cocky, but we tend to think that we can control certain circumstances, even certain people, in the sense that, what this happened is the result of my reality, is something I projected, something I brought about myself. So right now, you just made me think, if we can actually control or not certain circumstances. I mean, if you were to ask me before listening to you, I would have thought, well, COVID is something that we as a collective, we brought upon ourselves. You're just changing my train of thought in that sense. So I'm putting that out there right now. And because I've always believed that we create our own circumstances, that the cascading effect of everything else is always kind of been more, let's say, demanding upon myself. And what do I have to do right now to change this? And it becomes frustrating because I have not been able to change it. Although for a fact, and I think you would agree with me, some circumstances we do change.
Well, you always change your thinking about them.
But
because circumstances, it depends on how to define circumstance, but if we define circumstances as things that everybody would agree on, like this is a cup, okay? Everybody would agree this is a cup. Now, if I say it's a beautiful cup, you might not agree with me, right? So it's our perception of what is, right? So you can always create your reality. Like people would say, coronavirus is horrible. And some people say, no, but I experienced feelings of gratitude and bliss and community, while others are experiencing anxiety and fear. Circumstance is the same, the thoughts about it are different. Or another example that I always bring is the 9/11. For the world, horrible event. For the terrorists, game on, great. Circumstance the same, the thoughts about it, different. So you do create your reality, but you create it with your thoughts.
Okay.
This is
Thank you for the feedback.
I'm giving you, and then let's discuss.
If I can also add to that, what's interesting is, and I'll send you the material on several levels of energy, but when you go to the level 5, and you talked about control, you gain control by not needing to control. And if you don't have that judgment and attachment to the outcome, because it's all about continuous journey and joy and discovery and opportunities and being at your best, etc., you're at that higher consciousness. You don't have to grasp anything, grasping by being attached. Then you let go and that flow, and you actually feel much more in control of the situation, funny enough, not having to control, because it's okay. You get to that state of abundance and having it all, because it's a different way of looking at it. You don't look from that level one of feeling the victim because I want XYZ, but this is ABC, for instance. It's just looking at things differently,
This
the
is
thoughts,
wisdom,
and you
right?
feel
Okay,
different.
thank you.
Natalia said it's pure wisdom, because I think the belief accepting the things we cannot change is one of the most powerful things we can do. It seems paradoxical, right? Ivan, you would say, if I think of acceptance as a powerful action, like many of my clients I work with, they will say, like, if I accept reality, I lose all the power to change it, right? But it's not true, because accepting the present moment exactly as is, without completely identifying with it, this is where the power is. This is when we hear people say the power of now. When we're spending our present moment fighting or arguing with the reality, we're losing it. So accepting the way things are doesn't mean that we excuse them or we can't change them. We're just not choosing to go to war with our negative protection energy. And there's so much freedom when we release resistance against circumstances. It doesn't disempower us. In fact, the opposite is true. So thank you, Natalia.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you both.
Maybe someone else would like to share. We still have some moments, some challenges we can discuss and help, or others can help.
Yes,
I have.
I want.
Hi,
Go
I
ahead.
have a quick takeaway from what you said. There are a few things that are helping me is to practice the within consciousness enough. So when I am in crisis, I know how to get there quickly. If I don't practice that, then in crisis, I have a tendency to not directly go back to the consciousness first. I might react first. So it takes practice to ground that consciousness. So even in crisis, I can respond from there. And then the other thought you said, Nina, is when you're responsible for yourself, there is a magic in that, in the sense, or you don't have to be responsible for others then. Not only are you responsible for yourself, but then you're not responsible of, you're not, I don't know if I'm...
Yeah, you're not taking anybody's responsibility. Like often
Yes.
I think we're responsible for our husbands, for our wives, for our children.
Yes, or parents, or...
So yes, you're giving, everybody has their own power, and we can't change anybody's behavior or thinking.
So it's not only empowering ourselves, but it's also kind of disempowering the guilt or the stress we could take on from others, and then it gives you more freedom.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. What else do we have here? Erwan, Patricia, Natalie, Katya. Go ahead. Anybody? Oh, Erwan, go ahead.
I think it's quite hard to think of that we are spiritual being while we are material being right now in this world. Last time when I do my past regression, I can see my past life, but still, it's hard to cope with the changes right now because everything is feel like stumble. and I don't know how to handle the situation.
Yeah.
I know I'm a spiritual being, but I'm a physical being also at the moment. We
Yeah,
have
you're
physical needs.
here to live this life, right? And to have a journey. And I always say there is an inner purpose and an outer purpose. The inner purpose, you're always worthy, you're always enough. Like most of our worries and fears come from that place of not good enoughness, or am I going to be a good enough leader, father, mother, whatever. And when we have this understanding and this awakening, we can ground ourselves into that core energy that Natalia was talking about. Now, the outer purpose is what we're here to do in the world and bring our own uniqueness. This is, if you're talking about past life regressions, this is a karmic purpose, right? This is where we're here to do. And when we're in distress, like I always say, that it's not about being happy at all times. Like many people, we have this misconception about, well, I need to experience positive emotions most of the time. What about the duality? You wouldn't even be able to experience positive emotions if you didn't have the negative, if you didn't have the duality. So I guess it's not resisting the uncertainty, not resisting the fear, the anxiety. The resisting it actually strengthen it. When we accept whatever comes and process it through our bodies, it dissipates, literally. I don't know if this is helpful for you, but I felt like it could be.
Maybe I can add to you mentioned about good or bad. That's the thing, if we are in that judgment mode, and I keep referring to the judgment because it's really the hardest thing to get rid of, judging ourselves and the situation for good or bad, happy or sad. If we just accept what is, and it's one of the hardest things to do, because we always won't always want something else, because we imagine it has to be like that because that is good and that is happy and this is white and this is black. So no. But if we detach from this and we just live in that journey, whether it's spiritual or physical, and do the best we can in the moment and accepting us for who we are, because we are enough, it will be much lighter, easier. The flow and abundance is there. We can just take it and just be in it, in that flow. But indeed, yeah, the resistance, it takes the energy, it drains, and because we want it so much, and when that happens, we grasp, and when we grasp, we drain ourselves. And instead of being in that 100% energy in the moment, thinking of solutions rather than the problems, because we're there, but not here. And there's plenty of things we can do today in the moment, and from the next 5 minutes, that would be great. But yet we still think about worries of tomorrow and the blames of yesterday. And that's natural. It's perfectly normal. It's what we're here on this earth for, a journey, a learning, a continuous improvement, not a particular outcome.
Yeah.
That's how
I love it.
Our philosophy.
This is the wisdom, and I think this is great closing, because it gives us perspective of embracing it all as it comes, processing it, and then understanding that we're doing the best we can with the consciousness we have. So the idea is really to become even more conscious, and also the other way around, right? And getting rid of everything that's not serving you. Like literally, when a thought comes in your mind, and there's 40 to 60,000 a day, what truly serves you? Like I often ask the people I work with to write down everything, to empty out all the garbage that they have in their brain, like everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly, on paper. What are you thinking right now? And then they look at the piece of paper and they say, if I think all of this, no wonder that I'm experiencing this. So the good thing is that you can, on purpose, choose your thoughts if you train yourself to do that. And this is bringing consciousness in and say, what is it that I'm here to do? How can I actually plug this in and create the experience I want? This is what I mean, Ivan, by creating reality, is you creating your perception of it, right? Natalia, anything to add in terms of closing our conversation here? Thank you so much.
Well, thank you all, and thank you for sharing. I know it's not enough time for everything we would love to talk about and hear from you and help you in your journeys. We will follow up with some practical tools that you can use on the concepts that we explained, and others that you might find useful. There's a lot to it, and we're here for you. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you all so much for joining. We will do this again. I feel this is a good format. If you have any questions, any thoughts on format of this, like if we have more people, we were thinking of doing breakout rooms so people can really connect on intimate levels. And also if you're free to, put in the chat any other questions or anything that you want to have addressed, so we can, as a team with Natalia, give you everything we know, because really our missions are very aligned in terms of helping people in their businesses and lives to be the best they can be.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you in the
Thank you,
virtual world.
Natalia.
Yes.
Thanks for your
Thank
time.
you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Have a lovely day,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Namaste.
This was wonderful. Thank you. I come back to you, Natalia.
Perfect.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll
Bye-bye.
see you on the other line.
Yeah,
Bye.
bye.
Sorry, Nina, I had somebody at the door. That's why I had to
No,
also.
go. That's why. But really, it was very informative. And thank you.
So happy, Anju. You have to
It was
give
very good for me.
That's great. And you're a coach, right?